What is up? We are live, pretty much. I gotta fix a few things. As is tradition when we start out on this stream here. Oh, Zenimax, that's loud. I gotta bring up the game as well. You can hear it, but you can't see it yet. And we'll have to see where best to put the camera. Also, you should hear something new. Every time I spec, I should be louder than the game or anything else you hear. So I don't need to yell anymore, because I can be sure that what you're hearing is my beautiful, beautiful voice. And I click out of the game and immediately the whole sound goes away. Wait, is there a setting for it? Let me check that. War. War never changes. Good evening, Alice. So nice of you to join us tonight. I don't know. It might be the very same franchise, really. So let's see. I want plays in background. Very good. Okay, let me... No, oh my god. I'm trying so desperately to set this up right now. Oh, goodness. There's the big brain conspiracy. About what? Oh my god. Just in totally different solar systems. Ah. I mean, yeah. Why shouldn't these franchises from the very same company exist in the very same universe? I see no problem there. Oh my god. Logging into this game is one of the worst experiences in gaming ever. Let me try and get in there again. It's a struggle to start. It's a struggle to start. And to get everything set up as well. So I got into the game, yeah. I changed that the music plays in the background. Then I couldn't see an option to go out of the settings again, so I clicked back. But back brought me to the main view, where I now have to click login. And when I click login, I get error 307 booted from server. And now I get an unexpected internal error. Like, I mean, you can see it now, but what is this? I specifically booted this up earlier to make sure it works for stream. Very specifically did that. Good evening, Mitsu. So nice of you to join us. Glad you could make it. Let me just verify local game files on Steam. Yeah, Bethesda never changes. That is absolutely true. I don't even think that I can verify integrity of local game files through Steam, because the launcher itself installs it. So, let me try this again. Great start here. I hope everyone is having a good evening so far. Can I... Oh my god, could you make the text a little bit smaller in the launcher, maybe. It is not quite small enough. Oh, man. I don't think I will ever upgrade to a 4K monitor. I'm already struggling so hard on a regular 2K or whatever it is. Address your complaint to Todd Howard at itjustworks@bethesda.com. Great. So I'm not crazy, right? You guys are seeing this as well. So when I click help, when I press the help button on this, I get a very helpful thing. The error indicates that you have been disconnected from the mega server. Check service alert page to see if Elder Scrolls Online is experiencing an issue. If you attempt to log in, you will receive an error 3 or 4. We recommend that you wait for a period of 15 to 20 minutes before you attempt to log in again. Are you absolutely joking? What is UTC? What is UTC? What time zone is UTC? I know what game this doesn't happen to. Yeah, 7 Days to Die. UTC is the same as GMT. I hate time zones so much. Fallout New Vegas. Oh. No. I'm not going into the old deep runes. Okay, let's try this again. I am very enthusiastic about this. Come on. Let me in. Oh! That's a new situation. Oh! There he is, Imperor the First, our level 1 Arcanist. And I have chosen Orc. So I can make him look the most Imperor I can make him look, you know? So I have these things. Let's just jump right in. Now that we are here, now that we've gotten this far, let's try and experience some of this. Very good.
Thank the stars.
You don't need to thank the stars. Thank Discord and chat. They have made this choice for me. Is there anything I can loot here? Now, let's talk to this lady then.
There you are. On your feet. I know magical translocation can really upset the stomach. Just take a moment and get your bearings, all right?
I can just say goodbye. I have taken a moment to get my bearings.
There you are.
Where am I? Goodbye is not the right answer.
I apologize for the cramped accommodations. We pride ourselves on courtesy, but circumstances here have taken a turn for the bizarre. I needed to make sure you weren't a danger to yourself or others.
Listen, the Imperor is not a danger to anyone, except for them that dare abuse and misuse the imps.
You might not be so eager to escape once you hear what's going on. You arrive via a portal, along with a deitric beast called Shiazel. It seized control of our golems and
Shiazel, huh?
island. If I free you, will you help me stop Shiazel?
Absolutely. I will always say yes if I'm trapped, and the answer, it needs to be yes to get out of the trap.
That should unlock the door. When you're ready, follow me.
I am not ready yet. I need to loot all the things. I remember that I can do this in this game. Let's pick some ash up. I don't know if there's encumbrance. There might be. So maybe this is not the best idea right now. Ooh. Shiny blue light. How are you guys doing? Guys and gals and everyone in between. Having a good day so far? I hope you do. My eyes are dying because of allergies. Now that spring is here, I get to die a little bit. Ooh, we got some rawhide braces. Oh, look. A splishy splashy pool. Lovely. Splishy splashy around a little bit. Bro. Oh, is this a Dark Souls reference? Highlight of my day was a trip to the doctor, so meh. Oh, I'm sorry. But tell me, is this a Dark Soul reference? I don't know. It looks like a Dark Soul reference to me. Might just be. I don't know what ashes are good for. There's a bow. Oh, there is the bow. I thought, no, there is no bow. I know nothing of the Elder Scrolls lore. No. It's a reference to Dark Souls, the games. Not. It's not a Elder Scrolls thing. It's a different genre and game entirely. So why is there no staff here? Oh. Because I can't properly look. There's a healing staff. Let's just take all of these. And let's equip some of it. Pressing tab does not open my inventory. Oh god. This is very small to read. Select an item to view its properties. E to equip and use an item. Right click to select an item. Mark unwatered items as junk. I don't know what is junk yet. Okay, can I change the UI interface? Where is the UI scaling? Oh god, there's no UI scaling. I also know nothing about Dark Souls beyond hard game. I think that's pretty much all you need to know. Do I have to change the resolution because I can't read this? Custom scale. There we go. On. Oh. I can see again. I can actually read what's going on. Rawhide braces. I mean, those are 898 better than what we have, which is nothing. So let's equip that, shall we? A tip for your allergies, by the way. Locally made honey. Yeah, but I'm vegan and all that kind of jazz. Plus, honey doesn't help me, actually. I did use honey a bunch a while ago. It's just getting worse. I got some good loratadine or whatever it's called, so I'm hoping that'll be enough. Okay, I got the fire staff now.
There you are. Free as a spring cricket. I hope you intend to keep your word.
You suffer from allergies too?
Of that I'm certain. The name's Norianwe.
Let me pop some more pills here.
Clan Durini. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Norianwe Clan Direni. Will I be able to remember this? I don't know.
We're bound for a place called the Key Rights Gallery. But first, I need to know you can defend yourself. Hurtling through the Orbis and falling flat on your ear left you a bit scattered. Find a weapon, and we'll work out the cobwebs. Fair?
What the hell is an Orbis? Sure.
Of course. I can't promise total transparency, but...
Never felt that pain, but picked up a tip from those that did. Alright. Well, lucky you. I mean, there's definitely worse in the world, but boy, don't I enjoy it. Of course, I can't promise total transparency, but I will be forthcoming. Anything you guys want to know about here? What a Key Rights Gallery is, or golems, or what they are doing here. I mean, they imprisoned us. They seemed like a gatekeeper or something of that sort. So, otherwise we're just gonna say goodbye and get going here. I think we'll go for the goodbye and let's get going there. Equip a weapon. I have. Equip offhand weapon. I have a weapon equipped, game. Wait. Are you not following? Are we
Maybe
not...
letting that weapon
do I have to ask questions?
Nothing
Okay, let's ask questions then.
That's what you're asking. I'm a member of Clan Durrani's Intelligence Guild, the Cinderella. More scholar than spy, I assure you. I was conducting some research in the gallery, then pop! You and that monster arrived.
Listen.
The gallery's always been a place of special interest for the guild, but we never quite cracked how it worked. Despite the dangers, this is our greatest breakthrough to date.
Oh, really?
Guildmaster will be ecstatic, provided we get it under control.
Alright, so what about them golems then?
You to hear that I have no idea. We Durrani are cautious by nature, so the Isle of Bolfiera has many defenses. Magical stone guardians protect many of our sacred sites, but somehow this Daedra found a way to turn them against us.
Let's talk about that Daedra then.
Do I have to?
Yes.
If I recall my studies correctly, I'd say it's a harvester. A huge serpentine creature that feeds on the souls and magicka.
Wait, love isn't the right word. Detest. Gotta love the Bethesda illusion of choice. I mean...
On account of all the doors. The gallery's full of ancient gates,
each with an arcane connection to places like Tamriel. But you must admit, for how old this game is, these are pretty decent character models.
The Daedra, Shayazel.
That's actually not bad.
I cast an incantation of the steed, snatched you up, and fled as fast as my feet would carry me. I heard the Daedra cursing, followed by some kind of explosion, but I didn't look back. I hope that...
Alright, I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead this way. Equipping 3 pieces of light heavy something will unlock a skill line with new abilities. Okay, so keeping our choices. Nut brown ale. Alright. Alright. Starting well. Rawhide belt. Natural water. It's always better than unnatural water. So is the sound ducking working well? Like, can you guys... can I talk and the game just works around me talking? Is that working? As I hoped it would. Equip a weapon. I feel like I've done this, but let's just equip a different one.
I think that one suits you.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
change your mind, feel free to take any other weapon you want. Now, let's find a spot to practice.
Like, just do what she says. You hear no issues, but you're half asleep. Alright, great. I mean, there shouldn't be an issue. It should just be better than usually, because now the sounds just kind of balance each other out in a way, so I don't get the feeling of needing to yell, and you guys can hear me fine, even if things are happening in the games, you know? Tall urn, little urn. Is it early or late for you, Fusion Warrior? I can never quite remember. 2 p.m. That is... in the noon? Yeah. I work military time, as we all do in Europe. None of that PM nonsense. 1420, thank you.
Now, prepare yourself.
I am...
conjure up a dance partner.
I am so prepared. I mean, they're already there, but okay. Come on, that's cool. Ah!
Quick,
Ow!
top marks. Well done. Now faster. Well done. Brilliant. Now do it again.
I am totally doing it.
Ready yourself. Quick, strike while it's off balance.
Ah,
Raw strength, that. Wonderful.
great.
Keep up the defense. Strike hard, now. That's
Riveting.
okay. Well done. Protect yourself. Use your heaviest attack. Now some foes will try to restrain you.
That is very uncool of them.
Quickly, break free.
Ah!
You broke loose. Prepare yourself. Ha! You're unstoppable.
I was about to complain that they make me do everything thrice. But then I almost missed on how to do the breaking free thing.
Now bash the... Again. Now press your advantage with a heavier, powerful...
So, you know.
Swiftly now. Interrupt it. Expertly done.
That's pretty okay.
Interrupt now, before it strikes. When your enemy prepares an attack, strike. Interrupting their attack will set them off balance. Good. Now destroy it.
Nice.
Well done. Come
Strike, parry, riposte. 7 gold and Forgotten Adventurers leggings, which give us an experience increase. Leveling up. Each time you gain a level, you will be granted attribute points. And 1 skill point to... Oh my god, I cannot pronounce either of these words today. Thank you for removing this thing before I even talked about it. She isn't even looking in your direction. She is... She's not in need of doing that. She is above such things. So... Ah! Crown crates. Oh, good. Uh-huh. Oh, no.
Reveal your rewards. Very nice. No more crates, but you can always purchase more.
Did we get a pet? Do we have that thing now? Okay, cool. Here's... Oh my god, that's creepy. It just caught a lightning bug, lightning bug, and ate it. All right, okay. I mean, we got it for free by being forced to look at their in-game store. Congratulations! Spend attribute points. Okay, very good. So, being this early, I picked Arcanist or something. So, I would think Magicka is important for me. But I really don't know. So, let's put a point in Magicka, which gives us plus 111 to 20,907. That's not a big increase. Can someone do the percentage on this real quick? Like that? That is a little bit underwhelming, it feels like. Alright, we're totally committing our points here. Oh, character skills. Skill lines allow you to customize your combat style to fight the way you want. You can select abilities to learn more about what they do. Press plus to purchase an ability. Active abilities are slotted into the activity bar, ability bar, blah blah blah. Alright, okay. So, okay. We are Rune Blades. So, it appears that we are not actually meant to fight with a staff. Rune Blades. Craft a series of apocryphal runes before launching them at a foe, dealing... Or maybe we are. Fine. The ability deals 3% increased damage for each active crux when cast. How do we get a crux? Here. Rune Mend. Craft a series of precise apocryphal runes, then propel them at yourself or an ally in front of you. The rune heals 3 times and generate crux. Okay, so we want cruxes, basically. And only thing that generates cruxes seems to be Rune Mend. So let us unlock Rune Mend, I assume. Okay. Alright. So there are class-based things, there are weapon-based things, and crafting, and armor, and all kinds of base things. Alright, cool. Got it. Let's see.
Like that, the Daedra doesn't stand a chance. Yes, I'd say we're ready to set out.
Okay, sure, let's go.
To reach the Keyride's gallery, we have to make it out of this ruin and across a wide field full of the golems I mentioned. With any luck, we'll be able to slip past them. But I'm not all that lucky, so I'm sorry in advance. Well, it begins with a door. The first of many.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to access the gallery is through a mysterious gateway.
A mysterious
Once
gateway?
we pass through that initial door, we'll step into a huge...
Not just a gateway, it must be mysterious.
That worries me most.
Why does it worry you then?
Shiazel, the Daedric creature that's causing all this mischief, may have nested itself in there.
Great.
So be prepared.
It makes a nest. I mean, that's very precious. Will dealing with Shiazel pacify the golems, you think?
I can't say anything with certainty, but ridding the world of an otherworldly abomination can't hurt, right?
I mean, it's making a nest. It's just probably tired or something.
Should return to normal before too long. Hopefully.
All right, then let's go. Let's crack that egg. Collection acquired. You received a collectible. Your collections can be viewed in the collections menu. Oh my god. All right. Okay. Oh. Okay, I don't know what an ally is, but we don't have one. I'm assuming the pets are in here somewhere. Non-combat pets. We got the Sylvian Nixid. Great. Let's journey on here. Let's see what happens. I moved to the door because I pressed E. Interesting. I wasn't close enough and they just kind of moved to where we needed to be. I mean, we got clear water and ash. We could make soap. You think there's a use for that here? I will be opening everything forever and ever. Homespun gloves. These are probably worse than our rawhide gloves. Ooh, decorative wax. That is, I'm sure, a very useful item to possess. We could make little figurines and start a Warhammer 40k club.
One of the stray golems. We might want to sneak past it.
Okay, let me allow you to teach me how to sneak. And I immediately got detected. I don't think that's exactly how I'm supposed to sneak. Oh. That is spooky. I got propelled towards it. I want to pick this. Who is detecting me? The golem? Oh. Oops. Okay. I should be dodging, apparently. Who needs to dodge? We can just kill. Okay, there's this rune flying around us. We can also zoom out, see us in third person, which I like. In games where you get to look a certain way, I prefer that. But why can't I loot this? Oh. That is a sneaky, sneaky trap. Balfiria Armory. Oh yes, lockpicking Bethesda style. No. Oh god, I don't remember how this works. Not like that. Okay. First lock has been picked. Oh boy. Creative rune form. Curative rune forms, not creative rune forms. Oh my god, look at all this stuff. We can pick up a jack. But I think we're, as a caster, we're probably better with light gear. So we take a hat. And more clear water. I'm very inclined to just get everything here, but I have a feeling that's not exactly what we're supposed to do. But you can, which is pretty cool. Like, most MMOs don't allow you this kind of freedom. Achievement unlocked, open the door. Listen. This can be very tough. And everyone, think of this. Everyone, at some point in their life, actually learns to open a door for the first time. You gotta go through that. Quick slot is easily access potions or other items. Press I and then select quick slot in the upper right. Upper right. Drag items. Hold Q. Desired. Okay, what? Let's put on our hat. Look at us. We now have a hat. Quick slots. Crown Tri Restoration Potion. And we just pull that there. So now we can do this. Oh, very, very fancy. Gloves. A sash. Which I don't think we need, but... What? Oh, I have more pets than just this one. I don't know why, but... I mean, I've had this game for a long time. I just don't play it much. Whatever. Okay, so this is worse. All of this is worse. Everything I just picked up is worse. Let's get some breeches, some shoes, and a jerkin. Because I don't think we have any of that yet. So homespun jerkin, homespun shoes, and homespun breeches. There we got. The leggings are a little bit better than this. I can only equip or repair. I can't salvage. I'm so used to salvaging everything from 7 Days to Die at the moment. Gauntlets, a helmet. Yeah, okay. I think this here, this is basically the cloth section. All right, what's this though? It's just coals, burning coals. I mean, that's neat. I didn't know this was here. Let's go back out there. Let's see what else there is. By the way, I'm very appreciative of you guys all joining, regardless of what I'm playing here. I'm way too small to be a variety person, I know, but it makes me happy to just do a few things differently here and there, not always do the exact same thing. Despite me being very picky about my games. It's better than staring at the wall. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope it is.
Almost there. Let's hurry.
Marginally, at least. It all comes down to if I'm at work or at a Pokemon Go event. I mean, that's fair enough. Okay, they wanted me to sprint down here, but if I sprint, I can't. Oh, okay. You're angry about me not sprinting. Let's go. Let's go then.
Right. The entrance to the Keyride's gallery should be east of here. Let's head out.
I think I'm picking up nonsense I do not need and never will. But such is life. It's like... It is in many ways like real life. You just pick up stuff that you don't really have a use for. And eventually you will have to get rid of it. Oh. Yeah, okay. I can't read the book. Gnawed bones. Let's see. I need to stop opening urns. Please, chat. Tell me to stop. It's an addiction. Playing 7 Days to Die does kind of change your ideas on what items high value. I've also started looking at dumpsters in real life a little bit differently. Or generally in other games, you know? If I see one, I just immediately want to go loot it. It is interesting. Oh, look! A saber cat. Let's unsaber the saber cat. Okay, the saber cat immediately reset again because it couldn't find a path to attack us. That's reassuring. Stop healing me, I'm the healer. What did the saber cat give us? Although when playing Fallout, I'll loot everything I can carry. You need to earn the right to loot random containers. I need to earn it, do I? Okay, then. Let's just go where the lady tells us to go. And mess up a few more golems on the way. Come at me, golem. Can I miss is the question. I can't really miss. That joke belongs in the trash with a pewter ring. Oh, nah, that's a bit harsh. Okay, let's stand on this platform of our conquered foe and claim our level 3 rewards. We get an attribute point, a skill point, and a bound crown fortifying meal. I agree. Yeah. Alright. Oh, it says right there what we are. An arcanist. Arcanist. Let's go for more magicka. Yes. Let's commit here. I kid. Though in Fallout 4 hardcore mode that breaks your knees, hardcore mode in Fallout 4 is so excellent. It's called survival mode. Alright, okay. Armor. Light armor. Oh, we can skill in light armor now. Grace. Reduces the effectiveness of snares applied to you by 1%. Reduces the cost of sprint by 1%. Ooh, I like that. Let's be graceful. It's a passive ability, so it's always active. So round is passive, square is active. I actually like the sounds this thing makes. It's very cute. Oh, let's pick up the... I remember you can rip apart butterflies like a true sociopath. Honestly, this game isn't half bad. This game is not half bad. Looks pretty decent. Plays pretty well. I remember this being an absolute mess on release, but what Bethesda game isn't, huh? There's Raven there. Elder Scrolls Online is underrated. I might agree. I did play... I have 50 hours on it, but I think 40 hours was around release. And 10 hours was with my partner recently-ish. So like a year ago maybe. And I did remark on it that it is actually a lot better than I used to think of it. Played it for like a day, but I couldn't justify taking up 1/3 of my hard drives. Yeah. Come back to it. You can join me. Oh, what is this? Crawler's foul bait. Yes, of course our little companion delights in the suffering of the creatures around us. I'm not going at all where I need to go. But Pixel Art Dragon, if you get around to picking up, shoot me an invite. If you want to use servers, anyway. We can adventure together. Also, very nice you could join us. Appreciate it. Welcome. Look at that. Oh, they're statues. I thought they... Wait, what could I pick up here? More butterflies. Let's rip them all apart. I mean, this is... I would have 100% walked into that. Ah! Die! He just decided he was done with this battle. He just fell over. He's like, nah, thank you. I'm good now. Ice stuff, lightning stuff. Oh. Should we try a different element stuff maybe? Are there more? Restoration stuff, we have that already. Are these pauldrons? There are pauldrons in this game? We can have pauldrons? Oh, we had epaulets already. Excuse me. We want to stick with our light armor here. Oh, you can filter for light armor. Oh, this is some hot stuff right there. I like that. Okay, let's equip a ice staff maybe. Let's go for ice. That sounds like fun. Oh, we picked up some barley. Which is something. Craft bag. Your craft bag allows you to store crafting materials in separate inventory space from your regular inventory. Thank God. Nothing worse than having to sort your crafting materials out of your regular bag. Let's kill more butterflies. That looks pretty good too. More cat. I don't need to block. I just heal myself. I run away and I shoot from afar. I think that's a fantastic way of doing it. Whoop. Ah. There we go. Though I feel like I'm a little bit overpowered with having the lady here help us all the time, you know? Light armor increased to 5. Man, there's so many things happening. And that roaring sound that we keep hearing, it irritates me slightly. I feel like
the gallery is in here. Let's head inside.
There's something bad close by. Alright, I remember this place, I think. Oh, there's another... Is this another player? Hello, player! Nice to see you. Goodbye. Where did she go? Here. Oh.
Well, this is upsetting.
Nori... No. Asuka Ueno. Gato 145. Am I taller? Yes. I'm a small orc, but I'm still an orc.
Zephyrs bones. The surge of magicka created by the portals you came through. It must have cracked this sky shard.
Oh no, not the sky shard.
Sky shard, this gate remains locked, and there's no way for us to proceed.
But is there any way to fix it?
Unless you have a set of enchanting tools and a working knowledge of meteoric empowerment theory, no.
I do not.
For it. We need to find a replacement.
Where can we find a
I saw
replacement?
one in a vault just south of here a few days ago. But it was
Yes?
sent by one of the island's more powerful golems.
That's incredible.
I'd say we should search for another option, but given the circumstances, I think we have to risk it.
All right, let's find that sky shard. Can I ask you something before we set out? I really don't want to.
Let's not tarry too long, though.
Okay, let's learn a little bit about what are sky shards now? What?
Sets of meteoric glass.
Of
They
course.
fall from Aetherius.
Yes.
Raw and very potent magicka.
Makes sense,
Mages
makes
use
sense.
Sky shards in all kinds of rituals and
Sure.
experiments. We Dureni use them as a power source.
All right. Goodbye. That's all the info I need. There are more players now. Let's head down. Wait a moment. Can I equip? No, I can't. I cannot. Wait, can I equip weapons to quick slots? I can turn my helmet on or off on a quick slot, which is a free action, by the way. In World of Warcraft, it used to be a toggle that you, like, hide your helmet was just a toggle. And now it costs gold to do that. And you can't even do it anymore anywhere you want. It's silly. Let's hide our helmet. No, let's hide it. Huh? Emotes, quick slots, allies. Okay. Mementos, tools, emotes. It doesn't do the thing though. We still see our helmet. Alright then. Oh look! Hide helmets must be low tier light armor. Are these made of stone as well? Haha! You didn't think I would block? Pulled the switcheroonie on you there, didn't I? Oh, hide helmets. Oh my god. I'm so bad with... I am so bad with these kind of jokes. You guys are so good with them, and I'm so bad.
The Sky Shard.
Darn. But Fusion Warrior has found themselves a new friend for this, for sure. Oh, that's cool. That it hopped down from there. Oh no, ouch. Don't hurt me. I'm only here to steal your stuff. That can't be a bad thing. Can it?
Get out of the way now. Counter and kill.
Counter and kill. Okay, lady. Lady has no chill.
Move quickly. To the side.
We can do it. Haha, look at us. Why does it have rawhides? I'm not asking. Nah, I'm not questioning this. Who? Oh no, is this what's supposed to happen?
Did you just absorb the energy of that shard? Incredible. Not quite what I intended, but we can work with this.
I mean, I'm the Imperor. I'm a little bit extra. Possession is 9/10 of the lore.
We should hurry back to the gate. We don't have the Sky Shard, but we do have a spark of ethereal energy.
This one I got.
Important bit.
This one I got. Immediately, I mean. I get them eventually. It just takes me a little bit longer than I care to admit. I can't go through here, though. Ah! I'm torn on what camera perspective to use. Oh. I love me some third person view. I really enjoy that. And it's much easier to see what the enemy is doing this way. But honestly, I'm very used to playing their games, Bethesda games, in first person. So it's a difficult choice. It's a difficult choice right now. Let's see what we got. More of the same stuff. I'm not gonna pick up everything because... Why would I? Can I transfer my shard power into the shard now? Oh!
You did it! With any speak for a moment, it'll respond to the power you absorbed and unlock the gate.
Well, goody. This gate? No, no, not this gate. Ah. Okay. What have you to say, Norianwe?
The really scary bit. The Daedric creature responsible for all these portals waits just beyond that gate.
Okay. What should we do?
Justice Scholar. But I'd encourage...
Remember what we practiced before. I can remember. I can remember. And if you let me pass, I will go slay the creature and prove my worth to all of Tamriel.
Send it back to Oblivion.
Maybe it doesn't come from Oblivion. Do we know this is where it originated from? We can't just send things back.
Only I will remain.
Oh god, I'm an absolute... Okay, I just understood how the quickbar works. So you select what action you have on Q. And then when you press Q, that is what happens.
What cannot die.
But you have to actually press it. This is probably not good.
Wither and die.
I think we're doing pretty good against this Daedric creature. That's actually pretty nice.
Hopefully the gallery wasn't too badly damaged.
In terms of boss fighting, that was pretty nice, I must say. Let's equip our heirloom necklace. And learn this recipe. And that's it. No, I like our little friend. They are very cheerful for looking as terribly creepy as they do. Oh, bookshelves. I know from 7 Days to Die these are important. Oh god. A royal embarrassment by Emilianus Falto, a concerned citizen. Can we be frank? Just one citizen to another. It's dismayingly obvious that we have left for a royal family here in Bancoria is just not going to suffice. Nothing against late King Emond, who was a reasonably strong voice from the throne, though it was a shame the way they planned to allow Moneybags Emric to get away with giving nominal rulership over the fallen waste to Farah Jad, who's never even been there, so far as I know. However, now that Emond's gone, we're in deeper trouble. Princess Elara acts more like a filthy wood elf than an honest Breton maid, and Prince Adrian, well, you've heard about his gambling damps, haven't you? And that's a little too fond of the old spice wine. All true from what I heard. In fact, that story about his half-orc bastard might even be true too, so far as I know. And as for Queen Arzila, to be charitable, let's just say, she isn't playing bowls with a full set of pins, suing with a thimble on the wrong finger, fishing for mud crabs without a net, you know, waltzing barefoot on oyster shards with a duck egg on a nose flute and a 9-pound hammer. Got me? So where does that leave us? Dangerously bereft of strong leadership, that's where. And I'm not about to accept another bird-brained, gift-wrapped import from Wayrest, I can tell you. Where then can we turn? Personally, I've got my eye looking east towards Citadel, the Emperor's proven source of strong leaders, when we Bretons signed the soup, going all the way back to Empress Hestra. And they worship the proper 8 divines too. None of your weird tall papas or malachats for me, thank you very much. The Empire, think about it. I'm pretty sure you'll agree. There are some complex metaphors. I mean, he poured his heart into what's going on there. So is this all bookshelves are? Oh my god, I'm not gonna read all these books. Oh no, I'm not even looking.
Hold the stars. Look at the central column.
Yes.
I had no idea it was concealing something like this.
No?
Let's get a closer look.
I mean, alright then. I wonder how many hours you can spend here reading all these things. And how many variants of it even are there. You know? This website that has all the books. Oh, good lord. I mean, it could be a fun project just as a voice acting
This is the key
thing. Practice to record them all and upload them somewhere. But
Now I see why we never managed to unlock the gates. Their power comes from this arcane helix. Amazing.
of course.
Exposed, these gates can finally reopen. Perhaps not all of them at first, but enough to reach most of Tamriel. The question for you, I suppose, is where to first?
Alright.
Can you believe this? Just look around.
No. What do you mean? Why did it come to life?
Because of you.
Of course it's me.
Tamriel are bleak. War rages in Cyrodiil. Daedric princes conspire. Dragons ride the winds of elsewhere. The second era needs a savior.
Perhaps.
Perhaps even the adamantine tower itself. Chose you.
Of course. What do you think I should do next
The
then?
Keyrights Gallery opened doors to every corner of Tamriel. Places, I suspect, that desperately need a hero's aid.
Oh.
This choice
Are we a hero now?
wherever you choose to go. I'm sure adventure awaits. May the stars... So, have you chosen where to go?
No. I have not chosen where to go. I need to look at my inventory. I just got an Forgotten Adventurer's strongbox. With a lot of things. All of which we need to now take. And we got a Forgotten Adventurer's Inferno staff, which we will now equip. And a Forgotten Adventurer's leggings, which we will now equip because it's slightly better than what we already have. No, it's not. It's actually not slightly better. I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night. I can't sing. But, okay, so hear me gripe for a moment. I strongly prefer stories where I'm just a somebody. Or a nobody even. You know, not like, oh, you're our super great, amazing person. Trifling glyph of health. Alright, okay. Like, just let me be a person. Bonnie Tyler was unexpected, not gonna lie. More magicka, I suppose. I mean, let's get some health in there. I like to be a healthy boy. Okay. Evocation. Increase the magicka recovery by 2% for each piece of light armor equipped. Ooh. World. Soul magic. Now. Class. What can we do? Curative, more curative, Soldier of the Apocrypha, Herald of the Tome. Remedy Cascade. Channel the Abyssal Sea to coalesce a beam of restorative. The beam heals you and your allies in a path. Consume Crux to also restore. Okay, I think we're gonna go with just more armor stuff. Let's get evocation here. Get more magicka. Thinking of it, there's only one Fallout where you're the chosen one. Which one is that? All the others are just random dude to dead. Fallout 2? Alright. I only played Fallout 3 and 4, I think. Can Narthi's... Okay, chat. This is up to you now. Where do we go? Do we go to Can Narthi's Roost? Or to Strosmkai? Or to Bleak Rock?
It appears this was
Okay.
to Bleak Rock, a frigid Nord holding north of East.
We can learn something about these places, so you can make some better choices now.
Something important must be taking place there. The gallery is beckoning you to face it. Ready to brave the cold?
I like the cold. Let's talk to the other portals as well. Find out what each is, and chat, you get to make a choice here.
That's Knarthi's Roost, a Khajiiti isle with emerging ties to the Aldmeri Dominion. Sea elves have been flexing their muscles in that part of the
Okay,
Temple Bay.
from Skyrim.
Repeating interest could lead to bloodshed. Someone like you could set things right.
I like it. They have so much trust in me. They don't know anything, but...
It's a fascinating island with rich Dwarven and Red Guard history. Alas, it's been largely overrun by pirates. If the gallery elected to open a portal to the island, something extraordinary must be occurring there.
Extraordinary. So I think I've gone here multiple times, so I would prefer if we don't go there again.
This portal leads to Vardenfell. Fascinating, given that the Dark Elves only recently opened it to outsiders.
I would Strosmkai based solely on the architecture.
Along with the Dunmer's God King, Vivek. Anything capable of that is a threat to everyone.
But this here got Dark Elves, who are usually very reclusive. And they only recently opened this up. Let's check out the rest of them. Oh my god, there's so many. Western Skyrim.
Western Skyrim.
This is also from Skyrim.
By colder people. They may disagree, but those Nords need fresh perspective. A group of vampires have mounted a shadow invasion.
A shadow invasion?
Think on what they're planning. If anyone can stop them, it's you.
There's vampires in Western Skyrim.
This door leads to High Isle in the Sisters Archipelago. Our spies believe leaders of the Great Alliances will gather there for a peace summit. But this will draw conspirators. They could plunge Tamriel into deeper chaos. Unless you stop them.
This sounds a little bit too grand for us. Alright, new choice. High Isles. If you get infected, would that make you an empire? Yes. We would be an empire.
The home of the catfolk is well.
Like the TV show. Empire. Just Empire.
Reports indicate that dragons re-emerged there. Dragons? Hard to believe, but it's true. The Khajiit could definitely use your help.
What am I gonna do about dragons, lady? I like that each of these has a spin on the Skyrim theme.
Seems this portal leads to Blackwood, on the southern border of Cyrodiil. I read an intelligence report about a series of high-profile murders with links to the region. Daedric mischief, too. A warrior like you could do some real good there.
What does a warrior do about murders? Add some? Make more murders happen?
This door leads to the Telvanni Peninsula in eastern Morrowind. The wizards of House Telvanni are known for secrecy and intrigue.
A Khajiit location of my choice. Alright, okay.
A shadow filled with emerald eyes. Cautious adventurer.
There is one more portal up there, I think. The Somerset Isle.
Somerset Isle, the ancestral home of all elves. Fair warning, our cousins in the Aldmeri Dominion can be a prickly bunch. But our spies indicate something is amiss at the Crystal Tower. They need an outsider's perspective. Someone like you.
Modern warriors will likely start a poll on Twitter. He says to a person leaving it to a poll where to go now. Okay, so we have one vote for a Khajiit location of my choice and one vote for High Isle. Is High Isle a Khajiit? I don't think. Let's check it out again. Which one was it? This one? No, Blackrock, Vardenfell. Was High Isle the one with the ship? Yeah, this one. Do you have Khajiits?
This door leads to High Isle in the Sisters Archipelago. Our spies believe leaders of the Great Alliance
Doesn't tell us if there's
a peace summit. But this will draw
If Fusion knows more about the game than I, then I'll just agree with them.
into deeper chaos.
Alright. Western Skyrim has no Khajiit. Did this have Khajiit? Yeah.
Leads to elsewhere.
Let's go to elsewhere.
Is well worth visiting, especially in light of recent events.
They have dragons. And I don't know what to do about that, so...
Dragons. Hard to believe, but it's true. The Khajiit...
I know some background lore from the lots of playing Skyrim, not much about... okay, let's go to elsewhere. Oh.
The dragon returns! Take cover!
Toothy jaws, claws as long as grain size, and wings so wide they blot out the sun. What it did not eat, it burned.
Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without
We
any.
will hunt these necromancers down and end this dragon. The usurper queen feels secure in Rimmon.
Why come to
Rimmon.
dragons?
We're about to change that.
What happens next is your own fault.
I suggest you go and bow before Queen Euraxia, before she has you thrown to the dragons.
Oh, that was the dragon shout from the Skyrim game. Alrighty. That's very neat. Okay, we're in the place. Let's rip some butterflies apart. Ooh, we got a butterfly wing this time. We're getting better at ripping butterflies apart. What is that? Is that a pig? Oh, that's so cute. A runestone. Sell your items at a vendor. Because our inventory is full. Okay. Good evening, Rukui. Hello and welcome. So glad you could join us. We are ripping some butterflies apart in elsewhere at the moment. Because that's the normal thing to do. Oh, look at that. Why are the cats riding cats?
P-second demands the Emperor shall hydrate.
I shall indeed, Rookie. Thank you so much. And cheers to everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. Joining me on this journey. Will you attack me? Or will you fly away cinematic? Okay, you're not going to do anything. Okay, you flying away. Not very cinematically, but you are flying away. A terror bird. Let's purge the terror from this land. Aha! We done did it. What happened here? A terror bird died. Let's collect a water skin. More natural water. We already have some of that. So it's good to have more. I don't know where to go. So we're just gonna follow that path here. Hello? Okay, I think this is a pet of a player or something. Starhaven Way Shrine. Fast travel network. Way shrines are fast travel, inexpensive way to travel. Okay, very good. We have to discover them and then travel between them. Makes some sense. So these are, I'm assuming, all players. Someone has a very tentacly book flying around with them. Look at all these peoples. Okay, I have no idea where to go. Ah, this way. This, I think, is a quest marker. Hello, hello. What is going on here, my dear Khajiit?
Greetings.
Oh.
You are not also going to the abode of ignominy, are you?
He looks great.
As its name implies, it is a moonless place full of forgotten secrets.
What seems to be the person you look like? What?
Setting up camp outside the cave nearby.
Local legend.
Says that Mafala worshippers used to lurk there. Raising dead too, I think. To venture so close to such a place, it does not seem wise.
What did this person look like? Inalzin, who never gave me their name, but I kinda divined it.
Cathay by the look of her. She wore the attire of a sorcerer.
A sorcerer?
And I could put on a tin crown and claim that I am an emperor.
It is true.
She stays there heedlessly, or lingers with bad intentions. Either way, no good can come of it.
Sure, I'll just go bother some random people now. Because this cat man said they are weird. Will you attack me? Okay. I think it will. I like the combat. I must say, I like the combat, and it's very important that games do their core gameplay well. You know, I could use a vendor though. What is this? Starhaven Adeptorium. Shall we go there first? And maybe find a vendor there? Someone to sell things to? Cute. Cute little pig. Am I even going the right direction? I have no idea. Oh wait, no, this is where we came out. There isn't anything to say. Okay, fine. Alright then. We're just gonna throw things away then. If the need arises. Look at us go. Sprinting. Can't loot you, I'm so sorry. What is making these sounds? Oh, what the hell is you? A dune ripper. Oh, ow, okay. You're not just ripping dunes, I see. You're also ripping imps. Unacceptable. Oh, you have a lot of health. Let's try and block, maybe. I mean, at least try, you know? So this is not healing over time. Iron Pauldron. Alright. Do you have a vendor here? You are a player, I think? Naramako.
Who are you? Did Caldathir send you? Well, don't even try to stop me.
No one sent me. Let's just lie in her face.
Oh, well then, greetings. My name is Naramako, and I intend to walk right into this spooky cave and find the works of a brilliant Khajiiti mage. Before you ask, yes, it is full of slavering, undead, and yes, I am petrified to the point of weeping.
Then what the hell are you doing here, and why?
You mean to help? Well, I guess there's no harm in delegating. According to my research,
I always help cute cat girls. It's in the Imperial Constitution.
And any memory stones he might have left behind, I would be indebted.
Fair enough. I'll gather Marzula, Yo's notes, and memory stones.
Thank you for looking into this, Walker. I can't wait to rub this discovery in that sour-tongued Kaldathir's face. It's always be careful with this and don't meddle with that. He's just a fat old bully.
Oh my god. That's a great voice actress. Why do you want this? Why do you want these notes?
According to my research, Marzula Joe had a great fondness for animals, just like me. He even discovered ways to bring them back to life. At least I think he did. Fuzzy.
Okay, you want to bring an animal back to life?
Yes! You're not going to scold me like Kaldathir, are you? It's just a frog. A single hoppy little frog.
But listen, isn't that necromancy?
I mean, sort of.
You're bringing the dead back to life. That sounds like necromancy.
Well, guild regulations clearly state that manipulating white souls, the lesser souls of beasts, is completely fine. True, the bylaws don't explicitly endorse putting little white souls into frog skeletons, but they don't prohibit it either.
Okay, who is this Kaldir person? Kaldathir?
Elf alchemy professor. And a heartless, saggy-faced brute.
Those are fighting words, I think.
The Mages Guild, you see. To progress, I have to show proficiency in potion making and such.
Alright, cool. But you're not gonna buy anything from me. Let's go delve into this place and see if we can't find those notes and decipher these things and rip more butterflies apart. Because apparently that's 80% of what we're doing in this game. It's not even lying. There's even more of them. Oh, goodness. Come here. This looks dead. Not undead dead, but dead dead. Okay, I think we're not alone here. Reanimated veteran. Oh, okay. There's multiple. Wait, did you just summon that person? That's kinda uncool. Oh! Okay, that was a little bit closer than I anticipated it to be. Everyone here is an enemy. What did I just run into? Oh my goodness. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. We got this. Okay, they have a lot of bait in them. For unknown reasons. Okay, there's another enemy. Let's pick up this thing here. Okay, we don't have... We need to make room. So let's drop some... Let's drop all these things here. Can I? Can I not drop them? Yeah, okay. That is uncomfortable. Can I multi-select? No. Okay, this is annoying. All these things that we picked up for no good reason. I want to keep the restoration staff though, because that could be fun. So this stuff, everything that... Wait, am I wearing this? No. So let's get everything that has a value of 1 gold out of here. Because I think each of these takes up 1 inventory space. So at least they're all the same, basically. Now I just need to get rid of all this nonsense that I picked up. I knew it would be an issue. And yet, here we are. So this is 10 gold. I'm not gonna throw that away. And Meat Sauce, you had a premonition about these pewter rings being trash. I am now trashing all of these now. Travelers, boots, trousers, all that nonsense can go away. Okay, we are slightly better off now.
Ah, Rolla.
Good God.
A land of fertile valleys and grand hills. But enough about Rajin's past romances, yes?
Cute. You were wrong to doubt me, but I forgive you. Ah, thank you so much for the undeserved forgiveness. I will pretend to vow to do better in future. Let's delve deeper. Let's see if you can identify more trash before I realize it is. I should have interrupted. It told me to do. Alright, okay. We're doing fine so far. Elsewhere wall-wide masonry. And manganese. I mean, manganese is important to have, isn't it? I just learned a new skill in enchanting. Novice enchanting furniture. Oh god. There's suddenly eyes gleaming in the dark. Let's see if we can't get through here, but I believe we are very competent and capable. Of course we are. I would never doubt myself like this. Our little pet just sneezed, snuzzled. Where am I even going? I'm just walking backward. I think I interrupted something. So that's nice. Hello, Froggy. This direction where we just heard the creepy loud noises from the creatures. Okay, these are just the cats basically again. This is very good gameplay, I must say. I feel a little bit weak, but I mean, we just came here. Obviously, we would be a little bit weak. I worry a little bit about scaling. Like, will everything just always scale to us? Will combat always feel exactly the same throughout here? That is often a downfall for these types of games. What do you guys think about scaling? Oh, rune mend can be morphed. I don't quite remember what that means, but it might be like an upgrade or something. Like, I think that's also a thing that I do appreciate a lot about 7 Days to Die, is that there are enemies that are just too hard for you in the beginning, or they take a lot more to deal with. And they don't randomly or artificially get worse or easier, you know? Unless you equip better. I always think that scaling should mean more than just extra HP. Ah, that's a very good point. That is a very good point. You're right. Okay. Let's take that memory stone.
Oh, Sugar Snout. My sweet boy. I don't... It's
Not Sugar Snout.
You were so young. So young. I'm going to fix this, boy. I'm going to bring you back. I promise.
Okay, so he learned that because he lost his boy Sugar Snout. If I lost my boy Sugar Snout, I would also try and learn necromancy to bring him back. It sounds like a very smart thing to do. A Sep Adder. Let's just stay nice and back from this guy. If you ever tried Valheim, there's a game with extreme scaling. Yeah, I did. I tried Valheim. I really liked the building aspect of it, but that was really it in the end. Like, I got immediately one-shot by the mosquitoes in the next region over. That wasn't really fun. Is there something in this direction as well? No. Okay, let's claim our thing right here in the battle. I mean, why not? We get 2 attribute points, 2 skill points, item set, health rings, and a racial skill line. Let's get more health and more magicka then. We're not really using magicka at the moment, but I feel like it's going to become important once we start using it. Orc skills. Brawny. Increase in max stamina by 480. I don't know if that's important. So let's go maybe for Soldier of Apogryphia. We have skill points. We have 3. So let's get a Runic Jolt, which I know is pronounced Jolt, but I like Jolt. Dang, the Twitch compression does not like these bushes. Oh god, I'm sorry. Okay, so we now got another skill which does craft the defensive upgrade, deals damage and applies minor maim for 15 seconds, reducing that damage. I don't know how that is a defensive thing if it deals attack damage and reduces that damage, but the rune also taunts for 5 seconds. It would not cause taunt immunity and generates crux while slotted. Damage taken is reduced by 1% per active crux. Okay, I don't exactly know what all that means, but I have a feeling I understand it sort of. Remedy Cascade. Okay, let's do this. Evolving Runement Wands. New effect, heals for an additional amount over time, which I like. Healing low health targets grants them ultimate. I don't know what ultimate is. So we're just going to cancel that and just live with what it is, I think, for now, and leave some points unspent. Or can we put more in this? No. Enchanting. Provisioning. Destruction Staff. Force Shock. Focus all elemental in your enemy and blast an enemy for flame damage. Okay, that's pretty good. Wall of Elements. Slam your staff to create a wall in front of you. Let's do this. Let's do the Wall of Elements. Okay, we have things and we have stuff. Let's open this. And also equip all these. Left and right ring. Yep, mosquitoes, extreme scaling for sure. Okay, let's do this. Oh, that was nice. Now we're thinking with magicka. Let's rip apart more insects because that is who we are now. Let's take another memory stone.
Sugar Snout! Stop! You're killing him! I never intended... What did I do wrong? This isn't you, sweet boy! This isn't you!
Okay, so I get a feeling that Sugar Snout returned a little bit different, a little bit wrong, perhaps. Ow. You know, this isn't exactly a wall, as I would picture a wall, but okay. I'll take it. Let's do another wall. Or what the game thinks is a wall. Maple restoration staff. Okay, we'll take it. Now anyway. We interrupted. We did it. We managed. I like that I don't have to time the block. I'm very bad at timing blocking. To the point that I barely ever even use blocking where I need to time it to get anything. I'd just much rather not try and do that. And miserably fail at it. Look at us go. We're a menace now. Those reanimated corpses can't do nothing about us. They just gotta take what we are selling. Oh, that was cool. He had a little ice barrier that we attacked instead of him. Are we even going the right direction anymore? Could be a nice place if it weren't for all the undead. Nope. Nope. Oh. Nope. More nope. I like it when the archers really corner us in one of those narrow passageways. It feels like they deserve the win there. Lead. Khajiit Water Vessel Large. This allows you to scribe for the Khajiit Water Vessel Large Antiquity. Okay, sure. Can I dispel this? Can I use the thing that we just found? No. Rawhide boots. These are medium. We don't want medium stuff. So we're just not going to walk through here. But I do feel a little bit more powerful now. That's nice. And having taken Magicka seems to be the right choice now. Now that we use it. An iron girdle. Costs 9 gold. I don't think we want that. Like, I don't think that makes sense to take. But I wouldn't know. We're getting places. I like the sound effect of this one. I mean, that's not the sound it makes, but... Oh yeah, the Khajiit helmets looks like Khajiit faces. That's so cool. I'm just kind of running toward where the enemies are. You're not an enemy. Huh. The only Elder Scrolls game with extreme scaling is Daggerfall, because that is the only one with a climb skill. Ha! Well done. Well done.
Now, this is a little unorthodox, but I just felt horrible about what happened. Bringing you back to life is an imperfect solution, I know, but I am confident you'll get used to this new beginning.
Oh, goodness. Dude is digging his grave ever deeper. I don't know which direction to go first. So we're gonna go this direction first. Feels like a good idea to go this direction first. Or not. We'll find out together. I think I need something that uses the runes that I keep generating here. Also, it's area loot. I like it when games allow you to area loot. Oh, that looks like one of those sky shards. Let's absorb. Slurp right up. But it keeps glowing, which is a little bit confusing. Like, how do I know if I actually use it?
Sarir, no! Stop it this instant, please! I can fix this. I just need to paint a restraining ward to... Stop! What are you doing, Sarir? No, 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 no! No! Don't do that! Don't do... Ah, ah.
Brother made zombies and got eaten by them. He should have played 7 Days to Die. He would have realized his mistake. He would have known it was a foolish endeavor. Good evening, Ahsoka. Welcome. So nice you could join us. How are you doing tonight? Or rather today, I think, for you. I hope you are doing well. Let's delve a little bit deeper here into the secrets and see what happened next in this story. This sad, sad story. Well, I finally reached the abode of their ignominy. This one can tell why other Khajiit give such a wide berth. All manner of necromantic experiments took place here. Of that I am certain. Broken urns, musty alembics, half-open sarcophagi, and so on. That alone is no cause for concern, as I am well versed in the necromantic arts. But Marzula Yo also found restraining belts and choke collars. Clearly, these necromancers practice a savage brand of necromancy, only driven by dedication to the dark clan mother Mafala, no doubt. It fills this one's heart with deep disappointment. Even so, the abode offers me the space and solitude I need to conduct my own holy moral experiments. Time to get to work. Several entries follow that contain odd glyphs and obscure postulates largely ruined by water stains. Another breakthrough, adding 6 drams of the bone meal imstool solution to the base distillate stabilized reaction. This isn't mere necromancy, this is kinky necromancy. Ethical kinky necromancy. Now, all that remains is an application of recently diseased tissue and a few days of diligent observation. The rabbit I found should serve as a perfect test subject. While Marzula Yo feels great pride and excitement, he must proceed deliberately. This stage in the process presents tremendous risk. The reinvented rabbit exhibited unsettling behaviors, attacking the bars of its enclosure and frothing at the mouth. It seems this one has more work to do. Dark Moons.
The Emperor shall stretch.
Thank you, Rookie. I shall stretch and try and read while I do that. Does this all mean we might meet a were-rabbit? I would hope so. Or a zombie rabbit. Dark Moons. I must report with a heavy heart that Mazula, your dearest friend, Sugar Snout, expired last night. He was very young. A Sench Tiger's girl, only 4 years old. A wasting disease.
Switch to narrator mode.
A wasting disease took hold of him just a few. Then the Emperor turns the page to continue reading. Weeks ago, and despite my best efforts, his condition deteriorated rapidly. This one is heartbroken. I have nothing more to write on the subject. The Emperor is a little bit uncertain about his spelling tonight and reading properly, whether or not it makes sense what he says, and the very many stumbles that have already occurred. He rallies and decides to continue reading as to not disappoint chat as they wait eagerly to learn more about this Khajiit's experiments and the kinky but very moral necromancy. After long consideration, I have decided to test the most recent version of my reanimation solution on Sugar Snout. I know I should conduct more trials on lesser beasts, but I would never forgive myself if I let this opportunity pass. Magrus, look kindly on these works. The Emperor turns another page to continue reading the notes. Success of a sort. My alchemical treatment reanimated sugar. The Emperor really needs to drink something, so he picks up his glass, raises it to chat. Salute, he says, and then takes a sip because his throat is getting quite dry. After slurping the reinvigorating liquid, the Emperor sets out to continue his reading. But he shows signs of aggression and fails to recognize me when I call him. Mazula Yo is already regretting his decision, but the deed is done. At this point, all that one can do is hope for the best. In the meantime, I continue to perfect my alchemical recipe. Hopefully, my next subject will fare better than dear Sugar Snout. The Emperor turns another page. Or he tries and realizes they have reached the end of the notes currently reading. I would say if you say the Emperor says a thing, I would say he should say it for more inversion. I would say if you say Emperor says a thing, I would say he should say it. I'm assuming you mean more immersion. Yes, he should. You're quite right. We're gonna workshop this a little bit longer. So is this Sugar Snout? Oh, that is Sugar Snout. And Zaurier. So let's see if we can't... Oh. Sugar Snout is a lively one. Let's focus on the ranged attacker first. It's always so funny if so many people have already fought whatever is going on, then there's just corpses of the same mob lying around. Oh no! Sugar Snout, no! Don't attack me! I think Sugar Snout just died. And Zauria also. Ooh, we got a medium thing and thing. How much is this cuirass worth? 13 gold. 13 gold. Oh god, that sound reminded me of those dread birds. Those little beasties that come at you. We have found a lot of lockpicks and not used any. Alright, so we done this now. And talk to Narama. Cool. Let's go back to our sweet cat girl who sent us down here to try and get this done. Okay, this thing was stomping on the dead person here. That is very rude. That is basically teabagging. I was never a fan of it. So the way you play these games is you just kind of run through everyone until you can't anymore. Like so. And then you regret your life choices. This is something that made me very sad about Warframe. It's a pretty cool game, but everyone just kind of runs through everything. And it's so fast and quickly. It was one of the first games that made me realize I'm really old now. Okay, let's fight our very many enemies that I just pulled in here. Let's see if I can manage this. Let's give us a little bit of a challenge here. Give our AoE spells a little moment to shine. We've done it. Fantastic. So let's just collect a few enemies and fight them all at once. It's a little bit more cost effective, I would say. And a little bit more interesting as well. A little bit more of a challenge. Hello? Ow. Okay. Okay, the skeleton is resetting their position, sadly. Not gonna be part of our epic fight. Fine then. Light armor increased to 8. It's probably a good thing. Let's see what we got. We found the exit, which is a good thing. Where did the lady go? There.
Bright moons, you're back! Not that I had any doubts, mind you. So, success?
Yes, but his work didn't turn out well. He resurrected his pet, Sanch, and things went very poorly.
A Sanch tiger? That's remarkable! If he managed that, the frog should present no challenge at all.
Okay, this one didn't listen at all.
About this. I'll be sure to
but we get some medium things that we don't use then. Man.
I wonder how long after death you can perform these rituals. Do you think they would work on something smaller like a...
Also didn't expect the cat people to have Eastern European accents. I mean, why not? Eastern Europeans are very cute, I think. I mean, depending on how far east you go, some of them are not very cute at the moment, but I think Eastern Europeans are very cute. Did you not hear me before? Mazula Joel's spells had terrible consequences.
Oh, let's not overreact. Advanced spellcraft is as much an art as it is a science. Sure, he may have encountered a few bumps along the way, but that's to be expected. I won't fall into the same traps.
Okay. This wasn't a good idea. Let's level up though. We earned it. Yes, let's claim this. And we want more magicka. Because we're actually using it now. So, let's see. Nothing interesting in armor. Oh, we can do... What is this? Rune Spite Ward. Like the Rune Knights of old, summon a shield that absorbs damage for 6 seconds. Scaling of your max health. First time you take direct damage, the shield retaliates and deals 988 magic damage. Consume crux to heal yourself. Okay, what can we turn this into? Converts into a stamina ability and deals physical damage. Reduce the target's armor. No. Heal yourself and apply minor life steal. Nah, it's not too interesting. What is Herald of the Tone? Once before launching them, before dealing... Let's upgrade this to give us a healing over time. Because I like that. advised morph, it also says. It's what we should be doing. Channel the business here to... I mean... Let's do some more weapon stuff, maybe. Oh, we're good. Let's keep the point. Also, yep. Already read that message. What do your notes say? Now we're not reading all those notes. Okay, so we checked her out. Now, is that other guy still there? Who was a little bit suspicious about all of this? Oh, no. That thing is alive again. Why did I think it wouldn't be? Why did I think it wouldn't be alive? It was a very bad and silly assumption of me. Ooh, we got grease. Grease is usually good. Where was this guy? Nope. Terror Beak doesn't like us. Nice. Well killed. More water skin. How is this a water skin? Oh, are we just using a water skin on the water? Is that what? That might have been what was going on there. Ooh, is this? Yes, iron ore for us to mine. Very good. Of course we can mine things in this game as well. Why wouldn't we be able to? This is fantastic. Love it. Let's kill more butterflies. I don't want to fight this thing. This has too much health. But now we can maybe pick up these runes. Whatever they are. Okay, and apparently the game decides we have to fight this thing. Have the wall of elements. Die through my wall of elements. Well died. I have no idea where I'm going or what I'm doing. Literally none. But so far we're killing things and we're not dying to things. Oh, there's a new quest thing happening. Maybe. What is that? Oh, okay. Famous last words. What is that? Aye. Iron Helmet of Health. A Dune fragment.
Dune still has a shrine to Lorcaj, yes? This is good. It is always wise for the Khajiit to revere the first trickster.
Oh yeah? Let's revere the first trickster then. What is this? A dead goat? Are we responsible for this? Did we kill a goat, chat? There are antelopes. And another lightning bug for our thing. Butterfly parts. Okay. Buglos. That is not what you meant me to pick up, but that's what I got there. Oh, the goat is alive again. It's all good. The hell is that? Oh, it's a little winged snake. Come on, we can get up there. Another ogre. We have won against this before. It reminds you of 7 Days to Die. Everything reminds you of 7 Days to Die. I can relate. Okay, I can only have this once active, the wall. I don't need to keep recasting that. Killed another ogre. What is that? Is this... Hello? No, okay. No friends. Does everyone want us to die here? Why is nothing a friend to us? What have we ever done? Okay, you guys just watched your friend die. You deserve to be dead. That was very rude of you. When a friend is in need, you help. Okay, let's keep going here. Luckily, the fighting is actually really quite fun, I must say. Oh no. Did not see our enemies right there. I heard them. Ah. I mean, I ran into that. That was all me. I think I just like games where I can level up. I wasn't even into Dragon Ball when I was younger, but that's basically it, you know? The good old power fantasy of do thing, get better at thing. Very unlike real life. You can do a thing in real life a lot and never get good at it. Or better. What the heck are you? Oh, you're an alive one of those. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Not two of you. I don't like these things. They take a lot of damage. I don't like what it's doing. I don't like the burrowing thing. Don't burrow at me. Okay, now I would like to find a place where I can sell things and talk to someone who knows what the heck is going on. And maybe someone we can report that necromancer lady to. Because I feel like she's gonna be trouble at some point. And what are these runes? What do they do? Requires aspect improvement. Stack all. My items have been stacked. What does that do? What are runes? Your journal contains all your character's quest, library, achievements, and stuff. Is there something about runes in here? Antiquities. Yeah, antiquity. You can see all the antiquities you can currently scry for. To begin scrying for an antiquity, find it in the scryable section. Hover over it with a mouse and press E. Oh my god. DLC areas. Okay, we can do this. Law library. Oh, goodness dearie me. Okay, we could collect all these books. Oh my god, there's so much. Have we got a single one yet? I don't think so. Goodness dearie. Okay, we have no achievements yet. Oh no, we do have some. Abode of Ignominy Explorer. Explore and clear the Abode of Ignominy. We've done that. There are leaderboards? Okay now. Alright now. Okay now. And I still don't know what the runes do. Still no idea. Nothing, no clue about the runes. Okay, there's another waypoint that way, and there's a house in this direction. So Maybe we can reach the waypoint without being eaten by everything. That was not a good sound, I'm assuming. We got a waypoint. What is that? What is that skull? Hill of Shattered Swords. Okay, let's go toward the Hill of Shattered Swords. There's a quest marker this way. No. Ah! Oh my god, I'm being torn between all these things I would like to do. Let's go toward the town and... Oh, I thought that was a ore to mine. Excuse me. What the hell are you? Hajj Mota. Yoda's Embrace. Housing. Wait, is this a player house? Did a player build this? I think this is a player house. Okay, that's pretty... Does the player know that a dragon just flew overhead? Can I go in here? Joe's Embrace Adaptorium. Okay, that's pretty empty. See, this is what happens when you pay a lot for the real estate and then there's no money left for you to actually put anything in there. Portal to Plane of Yod. I don't think I want to go there. F5, purchase options. This house is not currently for sale. I mean, okay. Alright. So that is literally a house. Then we can go to the quest marker, might as well. Well, it isn't for sale, but it's literally for sale, kinda. There. Riverhold. Yes, what do you want? Who are you?
Excuse me, if I may be so bold, you match the description I was given? I have a message for you.
If this happened in real life, I would go straight to the police. Like, I wouldn't trust this. That is, no. That is, That is suspicious.
More like a summons, really.
A summons, even.
Tharn,
what?
who once advised Emperor Varen of Cyrodiil. He wants to see you in Riverhold in northern Elsewhere. Said it involves the Khajiit Defense Force and a raid.
The Khajiit Defense Force? The KDF? Man, I've heard things about the KDF. I'll travel to Riverhold and see what Abnur Tharn wants. Can I borrow your horse? Please? Your horse? Please? Wait, can we fish? Hold to select bait. The ripping apart of the insects was worth it. Oh! When do we reel in? When is a good moment to do that? The bobber hasn't bobbed. There we go. Oh, we got a salmon. That's very peaceful. Them fish are really going at it, though. Okay, people have some interesting mounts around here. Don't worry, we're not going to stand here and fish the whole time. I just want to do it twice. Exactly twice. Because we have a River Betty and a salmon now. Especially when you live in a world where instant messaging to a portable handheld device, having someone randomly say, "Here, I was told to give this to you," without you having any advanced warning is very, very suspicious. Yes, this could have been an email, lady. Why you gotta ambush me in real life? That's not how these things are supposed to work. Are you an enemy? No. Master Groom Zarbiduzur.
Than those offered by Master Groom Zarbidahuz.
Well, Mr. Groom Zarbidahurs, I cannot afford what you are selling, but I bet it's amazing. What? Bear? And Doggy? And she's not even named Curry. At least people named Curry can be trusted. It's true. If I would ever have children, which I'm not gonna do, but if I ever would, I would name my child Courier so everyone knows they're trustworthy. It's exactly how it goes. So before we go to the quest thing here, let's try and...
Another distraction.
Okay, Narrow doesn't want to be disturbed. They're eating. I understand that. I don't like being disturbed. But you are
Give you a moment to speak.
ginormous. Are you? Do you realize how tall you are?
Must be stopped at all cost. And trust this one. There will be cost. That is why Jaban helps any way he can. No task is too small when there is so much to do. But when they battle...
Sir, do you realize how abnormally tall, how very tall you are? Are you a trader?
Welcome to Riverhold, friend.
Oh, I like the jewelry
You
here.
have found the finest collection of cloth in all of Elsewhere. Let the Dara know if you see...
Like, that's dangerous. That's how you lose a nose. You have a trader symbol. Okay, you're very small in comparison. You!
The Khajiit here.
Oh, a store! It's nice to see that they're a representation of the other Khajiit types in Elder Scrolls Online.
Happy
Yeah.
to provide.
Okay, let's see. I would like to sell things. I would like to... Why is Ash worth so much money? And why does it have this little icon? Does that mean it's just something you sell? I just assume this is something I sell with no added value to me. Like, that's something I am supposed to sell. Let's repair all as well. Bang, bang, bang. And let's sell some more things that we have no need for right now. Iron Cuirass Intricate. Okay. Increases inspiration gain from the deconstruction of this item by 280%. Okay, we can deconstruct things, so let's keep that thing, maybe. Oh, I like this. Ash costs 9, but there are 17 of them. 9 times 17. Okay, fine. Alright, you might be right there. Might just be exactly what it is. Homespun breeches. Can I wear these from here, or do I... Yes, I can wear these from here. I don't want to wear this, because it's iron. We don't want iron. So let's see. This one we're going to sell as well. I know it gives me experience points, but that's okay. Junk. We haven't decided anything is junk, so there's nothing in the junk tab. What can we buy from you? Simple bait, sip of health. I don't think we need any of that. We don't need you. We are all that we need. Ooh. Oh, you look great. Stealing. Objects to steal. I don't want to steal anything. Or do I? No, 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 no. We don't want to steal nothing. It is agreed that it's time for you to eat, so peace to all and have fun. Thank you so much for being here, meat sauce. Enjoy your meal. Have a lovely supper. Okay, I could steal these things. Alright, I get it. Sure.
My time is precious.
Fine, then don't talk to me. Where are... Okay, let's see. Map. What can we learn on the map? House of Histories. This is Riverhold. And Banished Regrets Inn. General Goods Merchant. General Goods Merchant. Okay. Alright, then let's go talk to that person who sent for us. Let's see what they wanted. And why it couldn't have been an email.
Blaming Abnorthorn will not end the dragon infestation, Chimera.
Ever the voice of reason, Speaker. Ah, here comes someone who can help us now.
That's bold of you to assume.
Hear about my summons. Good, good. I was just telling Lord Gareshri and Chimera that someone would answer my call. Since you're here...
Atharn, you say? I say Atharn. Does that mean anything?
From a rage of dragons.
I would... Rage of Dragons? What?
So much better than flock or herd, don't you think?
Oh, okay.
The Khajiit Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons.
No?
Especially since they were fighting to liberate Rimmen when the huge beasts arrived.
What are we liberating Rimmen from? Excuse me?
We'll deal with that later.
What?
Right now, we must assist the Defense Force. Rendezvous with us at their command post. On your way, however,
okay.
I have another task for you.
Sure. The villain of Arena is named Juggerthurn.
I want you to investigate.
Okay.
I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy.
Oh yeah? Arcane energy.
They reminded me of an old acquaintance.
Has a way with portals. I know what you're going to say before you say it.
To secure his help against the dragons.
Okay. Do these surges of energy have anything to do with the dragons, maybe?
Hard to say with certainty, but I don't believe so. They remind me of Sir Cadwell, who somehow opens portals with a power of similar intensity.
All right.
Check the locations I marked on your map before you make your way to the defense.
Okay, but who the hell are you, my man?
What do they teach young people these days?
Excuse me?
Ever heard of the great Abner Tharn? Advisor to emperors and battle mage supreme?
Then why do you need me?
Well, take my word for it. I'm a very important personage. You should feel honored to meet me.
Yeah, goodbye. I'm not acknowledging this. You can forget about that. Nope, not reading. Also not stealing anything, I don't think. I mean, we could just take this. The stew. No one says that's... Oh, we got borscht. Oh, we got more borscht. Let's get all the borscht. No one says it's stealing, so we can just have all the borscht. What's in the cupboard? Grapes. They are now my grapes. Ooh, high elf basin gilded. And some obsidian. I mean, who wouldn't want these things? Filleting. Fish provide you with provisioning ingredients after you fillet them. Okay. Press E to fillet fish in your inventory one by one. You can do it by... Okay. Alright. Where are our fish? I want to fillet a fish now that I know that I can. River Betty. There. Okay, that was a little bit violent. We have filleted our fishes. Okay. Why do these two also have quest markers now?
You're responding to Abner Tharn's letter. One of the promising adventurers.
Ah, I'm only one of them. But very good, I like that.
My manners. Welcome to Riverhold and the province of Northern Elsewhere, also known as Anequina. I am the speaker of the main.
Okay, let me show you my little fantasy test, high fantasy test. If there are at least 3 words that you do not know from real life in a text, you are definitely in a high fantasy setting, or very likely in a high fantasy setting. Abner Tharn's letter, that's the name. Okay, fine. Welcome to Riverhold. Fine. Northern Elsewhere, already weird. Also known as Aquain. And then, why do we need a different name for it? And you are the Speaker of the Main. What the heck is a Speaker of the Main?
A position in which I've served faithfully for many years. I represent our spiritual leader, the Main.
Alright.
In addition, I command the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force.
You got a lot of hats on your little head.
We're dealing with more than just dragons, unfortunately.
Okay, what beyond dragons?
Abner Tharn's half-sister, Euraxia, conquered Rimmen and parts of Northern Elsewhere. We recently liberated Riverhold and were about to do the same for Rimmen when the dragons appeared. It's almost as if they came to her aid.
Okay, so what can we do to help then?
Do what
because clearly you are the good guys. I mean, no question about that. We met you first, so you're the good guys.
He formulates strategies and tactics for use against the dragons. It is the least he can do, since he had a hand in setting the horrid beasts loose.
All right. Fun fact: the Imperial Simulacrum, where Yagar Tharn impersonated the Emperor for 20 years, is probably based on something that may have actually happened in ancient Persian Empire. That's the thing about good fantasy. Usually, it's based on some historical fact. Like most of Game of Thrones is literally just ripped out of history. Okay, so let's talk to. Ooh.
Another outsider comes to elsewhere.
You just purred at me.
We did not have enough problems between Abner Tarn and the dragons.
We are getting purred at, Ahsoka.
Great beasts rampaging through my homeland tends to put me in a foul mood. I am Kamira.
Okay.
I assist the Speaker of the Main and
Very
serve
good.
as his agent. With both the usurper queen and the dragons ravaging northern elsewhere, there is much for me to do. Too much, I fear.
Well, tell me about the dragons then.
What can I tell you that you cannot guess? That these fearsome creatures of legend have returned to threaten elsewhere?
Okay.
Much is obvious. Damn it.
Abner Tharns is at full? Why?
That arrogant Imperial! For an advisor to emperors and a renowned battle mage, he demonstrates a disturbing lack of caution. It was Abner Tarn who entered the halls of Colossus and released the...
Oh my god.
He says that was not his intention, but...
So you don't think that's true?
What do my beliefs matter? Dragons have come to elsewhere, destroying everything I hold dear.
I like that she's saying that while he's standing like 2 meters right next to us.
Is paved in
Not even.
So damn Abner Tarn. Damn it.
Okay, brother.
I was formulating a spell to track the...
Then let's do his bidding. Oh. If only I could find the actual way out again. Okay, suddenly there are way more quest markers, but I think these are just the 3 locations that we're supposed to do. What do you want? You very fancy looking person?
A crowded marketplace. A chance meeting. Unexpected, unannounced. And perhaps just the thing this one needs to solve a most curious investigation. Mysic Thunderboots, at your service.
I have no time. There are dragons. Have you not heard about the dragons? Go investigate them. Silly fool. Okay, I think I was supposed to go in that building. Feels like I need to go in here. Into the House of Histories. I don't think I need to go in here. Nope. I don't think I need to be in here at all. Or do I? I need to be... Oh, I need to be... down. Is there a down in here? Yep, there is a down in here.
We don't have a choice, Izanji.
And what? You expect us to just stroll into an Akaviri crypt? Be reasonable.
Well, if we don't recover those mural pieces, who will?
It's true.
To the House of Histories, you'll find no grander collection of curiosities and memorabilia in all of Elsewhere. I would offer you a tour, but we're currently investigating a most unfortunate theft.
Well, what was stolen then?
An ancient mural called the Rithana di Renada, otherwise known as
Of course.
the Song of Kingdoms. It chronicles the time when Elsewhere were 16 united kingdoms working in harmony.
16?
Unfortunately, it was shattered when the kingdoms entered into conflict.
Okay then. So the mural is broken then?
Yes, into exactly 16 pieces.
Not 15.
And I found and restored each and every one. And then, just as we were about to put all the pieces together again, they were stolen. Who would even do such a thing?
I mean, I can help you,
Thank
for
you
sure.
for offering to help. Oddly enough, the thief did leave a note mentioning a grave of snake men. I suspect it refers to the tomb of the serpents, an old Akaviri crypt. Hopefully that is where you will find the missing pieces.
I mean, it's kind of weird that a thief leaves, you know, a hint, but The Imperor is not smart enough to question that too strongly. Okay, so we learned this now. I think we're supposed to talk to Mizik Thunderboots. Did it just pick up a random extra quest? Was that not part of my actual quest? I don't think it was part of my actual quest. I need to learn to read these. I don't want to do the investigation though. Let's go and check out these places here. Or let's try, if we can ever find our way out of it. What the hell are you? A fell runner. Oh! He be quick. Very cute, but very quick. No, very cute and very quick. There we go. That's not a butt. I don't know what to do with the runes, so we're just gonna pick them all up. And be very sad that they clutter our inventory. A dire wolf. Okay. Looks more like one of those desert dogs. Discarded orders. Squad Commander Pantheus. Both Her Majesty Queen Euraxia and a court necromancer. I mean, they have a court necromancer. They must be the bad people. Zumok Foom have detected a series of unknown surges of magical energy uncomfortably close to Rimon's western borders. You are to immediately divert your squad and investigate the locations indicated on the accompanying map. Your orders are to investigate each area, note any unusual creatures or occurrences, and capture any bystanders for interrogation. To be clear, Her Majesty wants them alive. Failure is not an option. Well, then why are they all dead? I feel like they failed. That is... I mean, they did the one thing they weren't supposed to do. That's kind of... I don't know if that's a problem. Okay, these are players doing something? Eurexian archers? Eurexian alchemists? We just learned that the Eurexians are very evils. Very bad people. We'll just believe this without questioning it any further. They have a court necromancer. Never heard of a good... That would be a fun story. A good necromancer, you know? Please don't attack me. Okay. Attack me. Then let us battle. Let us fight, creature from the abyss. Or whatever you are, or wherever you're from. Aha! Should have taken my advice and not battled me. More Euraxians. Oh, what the hell is that cute thing? Honor? A foul-smelling sack with a rotten turkey leg. This looks like a mortar shell or something. Where did the cute thing run off to? I don't want to run into these things. They take forever to kill. Let's just run past them really quickly. Maybe they lose interest.
No, Azazi. Never touch a Daedric monster. Especially...
What the hell is going on here?
Don't be such a nervous Nage. The dead can't hurt us. Where do you think it came from?
Your cat is talking.
Of Cold Harbor. Perhaps one of the Usurper Queen's lackeys summoned it, yes?
What is this?
The dead thing, they do not tells me. Like I don't know how to handle a Daedric corpse. I wonder what killed it, though. Maybe it ran afoul of a dragon.
Nah, mortar shells hits are deeper. Okay. Are there mortar shells in Elder Scrolls? What? Don't touch the dead thing. Alright, sure. I mean, we didn't Did we?
I saw you.
What a stench! That's the stink of Cold Harbor, Walker. How such a fearsome and
I love the little mask.
dead beneath our favorite rocky outcropping. This one does not wish to speculate. Only an extremely powerful mage could summon such a monster.
Okay, who the heck are you? Just, it's a Batcat. It's Batcat.
Location to location, just like the man with the pot on his head.
What?
Are you one of the soldiers intent on digging up every plot of land? Or are you simply a deviant who enjoys skulking and slinking through the wilderness?
I would like the deviant option, please, but the game does not want me to live my very best self and my very best life. What man with a pot on his head?
Do not play innocent with me, stranger. You must be working with that pale, gaunt fool with the ridiculous mustache. Why else would you be visiting the same places that he did? Unless... Are you an agent of the Usurper Queen?
I mean, I kind of know where... What? I never heard of that.
The hated Imperial who conquered Rimmon and falsely claimed to be its queen. Do not feign ignorance, outsider. I had just about enough of that when I talked to the man with the pot on his head.
And where did he go?
You sound as confused as he was. Kept talking to his pet lizard bird like he expected it to answer. The last I saw, he headed east. I suppose you'll find him in that direction, and south of Riverhold. Just stop skulking around.
To quote Mixed Unit Tactics, a book originally found in Morrowind, I cannot believe that a house cat can cast spells. Right, I'll go and find the man with the pot on his head. And the lizard thing he talks to. Sounds like a good use of my time. But first, let's be diverted by a side quest, which is right here. Or almost right here.
Shh, stay down.
No. I don't do what you tell me.
In the grass. We've got ruddy fangs up on the hillside and probably more down on the other side of the cliff.
What's that?
The ruddy fangs are the biggest bandit pride this side of the Scar.
Ooh, bandits.
And probably south of the Scar too. This bunch has been preying on refugees fleeing the dragons, as if they haven't lost enough.
They shook you down?
Me down. I'm not hiding, I'm waiting. Thought I might sneak into camp at an opportune moment and get back what's mine.
I can get you things, don't worry about it.
It's a backpack, Imperial Legion make. It was my husband's. It's just some personal items. Things he had before there were damn dragons.
No worries, no worries. I don't need any further information. That is quite enough. Wait, I killed you guys before, didn't I? I didn't know why, though. So now I kill you for a reason. Hello, everyone. Please join the battle. Okay, I might have made a mistake. Let's see if I have made a mistake. Let's try and kill something at least. And we succeed. Let's get that thing back. Can I heal you? I think I kind of healed him. Now where's that lady? 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 Wasn't she here? What? Where did the lady go? Wasn't she right here? I'm confused. Where was the lady? Let's see. J for journal. Okay, let's set it active so it shows us where we need to go. Ah, she's in Riverhold. Okay, okay, then we talk to her in Riverhold, and let's do this first. Whoop. What's up, gang? Good evening, Zerkim. Thank you for joining. Glad you can make it. We are currently trying to figure out why the dude that told us to figure out something about dragons summoned the dragons. A little bit convoluted, but any good story really is, at least in the beginning, where nothing makes sense and everything is just a question. Are you the guy with the pot on the head?
Uncanny. Looks just like the lovely place I dreamed about.
Oh, there's also a little cute thing.
Led me here. Eventually.
Listen, I know that voice. I know that voice. What voice actor is this?
Hello. You come to pay your respects to this poor fellow too? It was the strangest thing. I was looking at this very gravestone in a dream. So here I came, and there it is, all solid and everything.
Are you dead? Is that gravestone important?
Important? I have no idea. I suppose it must be. I saw it in a dream after all. Or was it a vision? I get those two confused. Anyway, I felt a sort of pull.
I love him.
Stepped through it all.
He's great.
And then pish posh, on as a bantam gras, and here I am.
Abner Tharn sent me to check on surges of power he detected.
Tharn, you say, the grumpy battle mage. How is the old boy?
Protect Podhead Man at all costs. Aye.
Just me. My portal took a few tries before we honed in on this exact location. Now, why don't you take a look at the gravestone and see what you make of it?
What happened at the other sites you visited before you found this gravestone?
Well, it took a few tries to find the exact spot I saw in my dream. A number of frightfully rude lads and lasses occupied the first location I visited, demanded my surrender, if you can imagine such a thing. Naturally, I gave them the old heave-ho.
Of course you did. I saw that bantam guar rummaging around in a foul-smelling sack at one side.
Foul-smelling? I'll have you know that was my lunch. Can't believe I lost it. And if by bantam guar you mean my faithful steed, Honor, well, he's always getting into my foodstuffs. Has the appetite of a mammoth and the cunning of a fox, that one.
He is wearing a dinner tablet as a chest armor. He has 2 pans to protect his hips, something I would call a strainer as a belt buckle. I don't know what this is, probably just plates. Like, this looks the most like armor. And he has a pepper and a salt shaker, and he has garlic. He is fantastic. And did you also dispatch the Ogrim I found at one of the sites?
Dispatch? Why would I do such a terrible thing? I adore those adorable pudge buckets. Alas, Grook was standing a little too close. When I opened my portal, poor thing fell in and took a nasty spill. When the neck bone snaps, it makes an awful sound.
Oh my god, oh no. Let's look at the gravestone now. Here lies the head of the betrayer, whose name has been stricken from history. May the pieces of his dismembered body remain hidden until Joan and Jode fall from the sky. And you couldn't read that by yourself?
Were the words the same for you? Sometimes written language likes to confuse me. Words change and switch places. Very annoying. Anyway, the gravestone mentions the betrayer. Sounds like a dastardly chap. Wonder if I ever met him.
What do you think you dreamed about this gravestone? What are you exactly?
Didn't we go over this? I'm a chivalrous knight. Oh, you mean the pale and dashing complexion? Well, I'm a soul shriven, a denizen of lovely Cold Harbor. I'm the oldest of my kind and a sort of role model, at least for those who haven't gone feral.
Why are you wearing a pot on your head?
It's called a helmet, I'll have you know. The proper headgear for a daring knight, not at all as pedestrian as the foppery you're adorned with.
He's great.
Chap, your attire is perfectly adequate. Suits you to a tittle. Really does.
To a tittle it suits me. Why do you think you dreamed about this gravestone?
I don't have the slightest idea. The words inscribed upon it conjure up all kinds of questions, though. Who is this betrayer? Whom did he betray? Why did they bury only his head? And where did they put the rest of the poor fellow? I don't have a clue.
Abnathan said that if I found you, I should ask if you'll help us with the Elsewhere dragon problem.
Dragons? I haven't battled a dragon since... You know, I can't remember, but I'm certain I fought one or two in my day. I was a gallant knight, after all. Of course I'll help. I'll just need to do a little more digging into this dream thing.
All right, 10 squads coming right up. Let me just... Sort of, the blanket makes my life a little bit more hard than it needs to be at this very moment. I always roll over the blanket with the chair leg. That just always happens. It's a problem, I tell you. Oh, look at that! You can see my t-shirt right there in the camera. It's the perfect angle to show off my lovely print here. Before bed workout. I mean, it might wake me up a little bit. I'm getting a little bit tired already, though I don't want to be. But let's do it. I'm gonna take off my headphones, so you know the drill. And I need to turn to the side though because no space otherwise. Yeah, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right there. Got it all together and done. Alrighty. Thanks for looking out. Of course I'll help, and we'll see you soon.
Did you hear that, my trusty shovel? Dragons and mysterious graves. It's just like old times.
Oh my god, what is this? Okay. About a Khajiit hero. Such a cute scene. I like this. This way then. Dragon above. Yeah, okay. Let's go to the dragon above. Whatever could go wrong. I mean, we're tasked to deal with the dragon. Oh! We can help! How dare you, dragon! How dare you flee, you coward! Okay, this was where we were supposed to go anyway. Abnur, what is the going on here?
Left me to deal with a dragon all by myself.
What do you mean? You sent me on a goose chase.
Well, some lesser mage.
He defeated a dragon. I don't think he did. I did.
I discouraged it. But not before it laid waste to most of the camp. We arrived to find the outpost being overrun by undead. Then the dragon attacked. I did what I could. I fear it wasn't enough. What about the power surges? Did you learn anything?
Ah, you were right. It was Cadwell. He was drawn to an old grave of someone called the Betrayer.
The Betrayer? There's a betrayer mentioned in the legends of Kunzari. It seems those stories continue to hound me. No matter. We can deal with that later. Right now, I want to know about Cadwell.
See,
Has he agreed to lend us his...
I didn't even need to read the book. He's gonna tell us all about the legends of Kunzari.
Kunzari, hero of the Merethic era. Most of the legends are unbelievable, though the Khajiiti moon singers guard the secret history. Their tales led me to the halls of Colossus. But let's save this for a less dangerous time. Tell me about Cadwell.
Well, Cadwell had agreed to help, but you should know he's been having some strange dreams.
That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter.
Which is a perfect combination, I must say.
Driving off that dragon took a lot out of me. Why don't you go help Chimera while I keep watch in case the great beast returns?
Sure, but don't tell me I didn't help, because I certainly did. Dragon, above. Chimera. Come here, Chimera.
Damn us for arriving too late. I did not expect to find our militia under assault by a horde of undead. And then the dragon. Oh, it tangles the tail, Vokar, it truly does.
It tangles the tail. What can I do to help? Let me know.
The militia was already depleted from the fight to liberate Riverhold, but we were determined to press on toward Rimen. Between the undead and the dragon, though, we can barely hold this portion of the outpost. Retreat is not an option. Not yet.
Why can't you order the retreat?
Our resistance to Euraxia's rule requires more than just soldiers. There are intelligence reports, safe house locations, lists of supporters, documents we cannot afford to lose.
Okay.
Search the ruined camp and locate the documents, Walter.
I'm not questioning. Oh. Okay, I have to listen to the whole thing.
They are vital to our efforts.
I understood that the first time you said it. Like, I don't need you to reinforce that. We took a drink. Let's see. So far we have found nothing. Oh, the camp goes a little bit. Okay, there's more camp here. I thought it was just this burning section, but apparently it's a little bit more. Can I jump over this? I cannot. But we sure tried. Let's gather us up some undead. Ah, oh, okay. I don't think I doomed these right here. Okay, maybe I did it right. Sort of. Fleshfly larva, which I'm assuming is something good. Or rather something we want to have. Probably bait. Or fishing. Okay, let's do this again, because this is clearly the only way to do this. Hello, everyone. Let's kill that necromancer right there. Because we don't like their kind. Especially since he's a Euraxian. And those are clearly the worst of the worst. What the hell was that noise? I think that was a zombie. Still, I do not want to be touched by zombies. Pick up that mail sack. I like that I just know how to spot these important documents. Can I go up ladders? Is that a possibility here? What? Well, not like this. Maybe it is, but not like this. Let's get another mail sack above. Don't hurt me. Ah, ooh. Very good. Oh. Okay. Oh, no. All right. Yep. All good. I don't know what they're casting, but I would like them to stop. We interrupted something, and we got a level up. Aren't we amazing? That zombie is just... I think he had too much to drink. Oh, yeah, sure. Let's do the level up right here, right now. Right where we are. Very good, yes. We confirm that we confirm. Let's deal with that later. I don't know how to get back into that screen. So maybe we cannot deal with this later. But I should think we will. Be able to get into that screen, I mean. Whoop. Don't mind me. I'm just a courier. We all know you can trust couriers. Oh. No, you don't do that. Stop it. As they say, don't shoot the messenger. It's true. You'll never hear about the message if you do. Ah! Let's get that mail sack. And maybe not step into these spooky circles. Find Captain Nala. Do. I think we can. I think we can. Oh, nope. No. Can I go up there? Or will I be eaten by the zombie before I manage? Ah. Oh god. Not sure this is very smart. I don't think it is. But whoever said we were smart. Not I.
If you're so fascinated by the dead, why don't you join them?
Okay, savage. Just straight up killed them. But I endorse the killing of Euraxian necromancers. They must all be purged. I would like to not stand in this. Thank you. Let's talk.
Doesn't know you, but at least you aren't a walking corpse. This one must ask, why are you here?
I like that the question is why are you here, and the first thing is I am Imperor the First. Chimera asked me to recover these documents and give them to you.
Right moons. This one thought these were lost forever. You saved many lives at great risk to your own.
I mean, it wasn't so much of a risk as it was a walk in the park.
This one will guard these documents with her life.
What did you just kill?
One of Euraxia, the usurper queen's pet necromancer. His undead devastated our troops, so this one took pleasure in ending his existence. Now, Nalado must return to Riverhold to consult with Garashwi. We must find a way to go on.
Alright, how long has Euraxia been employing necromancers, though?
Euraxia's chief necromancer, Zumag Fum, has been with her for some time, but our intelligence suggests his followers have only recently rallied to her side. Find Abnortharn and Chimera. Tell them to meet us in Riverhold.
Sure, I'll tell them to meet us in the only city we know exists out here. Which they probably wouldn't have guessed without me doing that. What does pressing T do? Oh, it cycles through the quests. Oh, I like that. Oh, that is cool. That is a very fancy functionality. That is extremely cool. I like that the NPCs just don't care. Like, look at him. He's got better things to do. He needs to watch the skies. That's his job. My job are these skeletons right now? Okay, Abner.
I've spotted dragons circling in the distance from time to time, but it doesn't look like the winged monster that attacked the camp will return today. Was your hunt successful? Did you recover the documents that Chimera sought?
I found the documents and gave them to Nala Do. She went to Riverhold to confer with Garesh Ri.
I must join them there. The Khajiiti forces have been decimated by this attack. It will take every strategy I can devise to help Garesh Ri prevent the collapse of his militia. The appearance of so many undead, though, that concerns me.
Well, I mean, it should concern most anyone, really, unless you are one of them. Nadado said Euraxia's chief necromancer, Zumok Fum, recently brought in his followers to elsewhere.
Yes, I read the reports. Zumog Fum and his necromancers working for my despicable half-sister. Such magic leaves behind a miasma of stench and decay. It leads to the mountains to the west, but I can't pinpoint an exact location.
I can track down the source of the necromantic power. I mean, I'm totally suited for that.
Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without end. Better to deal with them now, before Euraxia's power becomes more than we can contain.
Is this the first time a dragon has aided Euraxia's forces, though?
In such a direct manner? Yes, as far as we know. It could have been coincidence, but the attack felt designed to hit us when it would do the most damage. I wanted to send Chimera with you to find the source, but I have no idea where she's gone.
I'll track down the source and the undead in the Western Mountains and keep an eye out for Chimera then.
Find the source of this army of undead. And if you see Chimera, send her back to Riverhold. She's as reckless as she is capable, which is a dangerous combination. I'll make my way back as well. After all, Garesh Ri would be lost without me.
Would he? He's the speaker of the main. Chimera didn't say where she was going. He just said it.
In case you haven't noticed,
I'm not that
don't always see eye to eye. She can be impetuous and obstinate, truth be told. Chimera gathered a handful of soldiers and took off to the west. If you run into her, send her back to Riverhold.
All right. I mean, that is not circling in the distance. That is watching a plane land. And he's right there. Like, he's right there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. This is the moment we have been training for. We can do it. I believe in our abilities that we have honed over decades. See? Oh my god, someone else just ran in here and died next to us. Storm Breath. 25,380 damage. Sure. Let's revive here with our filled soul shard. I'll slowly back away here. And not do a repeat of that just now. I mean, we started out strong. We started out strong. That could have gone any which way. We could have won that. I would prove it to you, but right now I don't feel like it. Looks like you did in one tire, 1 HP of damage. I think that is a gross simplification of what just happened there. Should we go search the tombs of the ancients, the serpent? Quite honestly, it's getting a little bit late for me. I am tuckered out. It was a long day today, again. So I'm probably gonna go off in like 10 minutes or something. Let's see what the Tomb of Serpents has in store for us now. Okay. I mean, the dragon can eat us if he wants to, but I don't think that's fair. I mean, he is larger and older than us, so of course he could eat us. That 1 damage is a result of rounding errors. I should have been... Oh my god. Oh, aren't you all nice? I have done the most damage. Ask anyone. People always come up to me and tell me, Imperor, you have done the most damage to that one dragon. They hardly can believe it. Also, I'm running for president of the United States. Because people tell me I'm the most qualified. They true. They truly do. The most 1 damage to that dragon. It's true. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Those sounds. Those poor sounds. Oh no. Little jackal. Just trying to live his best life. Trying to eat my feet. That is a very noisy waterfall for how small it is. Oh no, it's that house again. Why do I keep running to this house? It's my millennial dream to someday own a house, so that's why I get drawn to these. And it's always a trap. I can't afford it either. I will never be able to afford it. Oh no. Hill of the Shattered Swords discovered. Is that this place here? Hello? Oh no. No, 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 no. I know what. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I ain't no challenger. No, 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 no. We're not doing that. I learned. I learned with the dragon. I know better now. Hello? Almost worth no experience. Stop attacking me, you fools. Learn the... Oh, okay, this goes deep down. I thought that would be a little shorter of a travel distance or route. Oh, can we... Yeah, we can survive that. Look at that. Combat roll. Very professional. Are we stuck now? Did you just get us stuck? Oh no. Like it looks we can go through there, but we can't. Maybe if we take like a big jump? No. Oh yeah, 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 we did it. Amazing. Parkour. Absolutely no issue whatsoever. I didn't have a doubt in my mind that we could do it.
The one who approaches might help us with your artifacts.
With...
Did
What?
the spirit send you to help Kisaravi? What did she say?
What?
My apologies. Kisaravi hoped you heard the spirit too. The spirit protects Akaviri relics in the Tomb of the Serpents. She wants Kisaravi to share their secrets with the world, but the tomb is too dangerous. She won't let me leave without them. Spirit may not be correct. Entity, a goddess perhaps. The one who protects the tomb while wrapping her arms around Kisaravi's mind.
Okay, that sounds very healthy, like a good relationship. So what's the lore reason why there's no levitation in Elder Scrolls Online? You're asking big questions right there, Pixel Hot Dragon.
The one to pass the spirit's test and retrieve the Akaviri relics. She's sure you won't end up like the others.
Okay, that is very reassuring. I mean, levitation is probably it's more dangerous than necromancy. Yeah, that's the lore reason. And I'm sticking to it. It exists, but no one knows how. Yeah, you're not scary at all. Yeah, you guys are not gonna bite me. Oh, that snake is on speed.
Wake from your sleep. Preserve our legacy. Destroy the outsider.
Oh no. That didn't sound good. For context, Daggerfall Morrowind had levitation, and in Oblivion they said that levitation was outlawed by the Empire, but this many years before that. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Okay, now they're active. Okay. Yep. Hello, I need that chest. So if everyone who wants to kill me could just line up.
Kill the intruder.
Yes, right there. Thank you.
Carry our message.
That's exactly how I need that to go. Oh, an ally appears, and he just kind of one-shots everything. Very good. I mean, an engraved relic featuring a fearsome serpent. Sure. There's a trunk with yellow goblin tonic. I mean, that's definitely something we need to know about. Okay. Let's just follow this guy. Okay, I don't know what this guy is doing. And I don't know if this guy knows what he's doing. I help. I heal. Watch me heal. I healed. Oh, what the heck is that thing? A Minotaur?
Lay down your sword, outsider. You already belong to the Akaviri.
It gave us 2 gold. That is fantastic. Great work. Let's get that shard. Man, we did that in synchronicity. I like that the skills are so responsive. Like it just works. As Todd Howard would say. Next chest. I mean, we're supposed to search, so we're gonna go in this direction for now.
Live, and you will share our story.
Let's see if I can survive all this without him. I should have... Oh god, okay. Okay, these are not active yet. So let's see if we can't survive this on our own.
Not so fast, Walker. Rachin would first have a word with you.
Okay.
So, you have found the first piece of the Rithana di Renata. Impressive. But Rachin can't help but wonder if you have patience enough to find the other 15.
Who the heck are you?
This one is the shadow of Rachin. Well, a shadow of Rachin. There are 7 of us all told. Surely you have heard of Rachin, yes?
No.
Elsewhere's greatest thief?
Okay.
Crimes were so fabulous.
So you're an avatar?
Do you expect a truthful answer? What kind of trickster do you take this one for?
Fair enough, yeah.
Let us make a deal. If you find all the pieces, each and every one, Rachin will consider sharing his motivations.
Okay, and where do I find them?
Rachin will provide clues.
That's true.
Would it be otherwise? 15 clues to find 15 pieces.
Okay.
Collect them all.
I'll play along. Let's go.
A book for your convenience. Is not Rachin kind?
Very kind, thank you.
And one other thing. Outside help is strictly forbidden.
No Googling.
Might have solved
No chat help.
clue, but the rest are up to you.
Alright, I'll find them.
Trickster, a hero, and an ancient mural. Just the recipe for a grand adventure, no? Ah, but this one is most excited to see it unfold.
Okay. Now I can take it.
If you see Pakruti, tell him he still owes this one a pouch of gold.
Okay, let's switch to the other quest. The relic one. And let's go get that relic. Before the Minotaur in this room respawns. I'm assuming this is the right way. We'll just keep running this way. And fight whatever fights us once we reach where we need to reach. Alright, got all of them. Ah! Let's just... Oh no. Goodbye. I'm not standing around to find out what the hell that is. Oh god. Am I going the right way? Oh. Well, okay, I'm out of stamina. So whether or not I'm going the right way matters very little at this point. Let's just get out of here. Goodbye. Alright, very good. What do we have? Where are you? There you are.
You got the Akaviri relics. Did the spirit speak to you?
I mean, kinda. Here.
The Akaviri spirit has blessed you. Kisaravi can tell. How else would you have succeeded where Kisaravi has failed? Please accept this gift and the spirit's blessings. Kisaravi
Sure.
knew that she would need someone brave enough to enter the tomb, strong enough to pass the spirit's test, and wise enough to accept her protection and never question her voice.
Okay, very good. Let's do a level up. Last thing for tonight. We need to claim something. A tailor's crafting box. Definitely we're gonna be a tailor. I mean, we're gonna wear light armor. So tailoring just sounds about right for us. Let's go full magicka. And let's do something about our skill points here where we have 3 actually. So let's see. Do we have more for light armor? Oh yes, more grace. So more magicka regeneration here. Let's do that. Craft. Destruction staff doesn't really... Oh, wait. Trifocus. Fully charged Inferno staff attacks deal 20 additional damage over time. Fully charged lightning staff. Heavy attacks damage nearby enemies. I mean, maybe. Let's check our class stuff first. We do have some passives that I didn't check out yet. So let's see. Your mastery of weaving, fate, and abyssal water increases the healing done by 1% for each crux. I mean... Okay. Oh, we can do the runic jolt upgrade. From a secret soldier... Within your mind, a defense against arcane forces without, while a beneficial soldier of Apocryphia ability is active on you, increase your armor by 990. I mean, that sounds cool. Let's just take it. And maybe let's get the Rune Spite Ward as well. So, we have another little skill here. This is a old shield thing, which I think kind of sounds really fun. Honestly. And what happens if I open this crafting box? Let's learn this. Let's open this and let's take all that. And it's just stuff. Ute. Used to create light armor from level 1 to 14. I don't know how to do that yet. I don't think so. Well, is what it is. And with that, I think we're going to go find ourselves a raid target, because I'm going to be skipping out for tonight. Let me see somewhere. Let's see if we can't find someone interesting for us to raid here. Maybe. What should we be looking for? Maybe someone playing Crusader Kings, if there is anyone. Anyone interesting? Let's see. Oh, there's Wham and QT again. Let's just give them another raid. Raid, Waman, QT, they deserve all the attention that we can give them. Thank you all for being here tonight. Let's have a little raid. Be kind, be nice, say hello. And we'll see each other next time on Saturday, which will be Crusader Kings time. Until then, have a very lovely evening. Thank you all for joining. Bye-bye.